I try and wake up by 8 a.m. Like to be.
But yeah.
He's like this.
What? Sorry, you wake up at 8 a.m. and then you continue your day.
Sorry, I start my day at 8. I'm in the gym by 6.
Welcome to episode 6 of Barber's Corner. Today we have the legend himself, Mohammed Ismail.
That's what I definitely go by.
The realtor of the city. How you been, man?
Been good. Been living.
You been having the day or what? Like a day or what?
Honestly, my life is one long day. It's just one big long day. I never turn off, man. It's you wake up in the morning.
Do you sleep? Like, you sleep normally or what?
That is no. There's
No.
right way to answer that question. But no, I definitely don't sleep normally. Do you sleep,
But
sleep normal?
I meant to say, like, do you... I'm like thinking. No, bro. I mean, like, do you sleep normally? Like, do you sleep from like 11?
You gotta say it again.
Bro, do you sleep from 11 to like 9, like everybody, or 11 to 8? You know, I'm dying here. I'm like thinking, am I high? Why am I talking like that?
Some weird energy.
Am I drink?
No, I'm just no, honestly, yeah. I try to wake up by
Sorry, bro. This is gonna be a big day.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I try and wake up by 8 a.m. Like to be.
But yeah.
He's like this.
What? Sorry, you wake up at 8 a.m. and then you continue your day.
Sorry, I start my day at 8. I'm in the gym by 6.
Mo, I'm like, bro, I'm like, so you wake up at 8 and then you start your day by sleeping off? Is that what you said? Because you're like,
So wake up at 8 and sleep till 10.
Holy shit. That's hilarious.
So this is how you work with abs?
I was gonna ask you, what's the fastest way to get abs?
You go on Barber's Corner.
Yeah.
The con floor.
Holy shit, man.
Honestly, I have tears. Did you bring napkins?
Damn. Wow, I didn't bring one napkin. That's hilarious.
So
I'm not gonna ask you how you start your day because it doesn't seem like.
I don't start the day. I
Yeah.
just end it. Drop the mic, walk away. Starting your days for amateurs. What is this, amateur hour? Come on.
He's like, I sleep at 8 a.m. and I wake up at 10 a.m. Then I go to sleep for the rest of it.
No, all jokes
Holy
aside,
shit,
man.
man.
Sometimes, honestly, I like doing some paperwork at night. Realistically, sometimes even clients will call me 9-10 p.m. Just, you know.
I can't think of I can't even look at you. I keep thinking about how you said that I wake up at 8 and then I go to sleep after like 10 o'clock and start my day. By sleeping. I start my day.
I wake up at 8.
Oh my god.
Sleep till 10.
So, clients call you at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Because, like, being a realtor, is it like you're kind of on shift? Is that what it is?
Yeah, 24/7. I think you set that between yourself and what? Why didn't you say anything about that?
I can't, like, I'm trying to take you like a serious realtor here, but I'm thinking about how you wake up. I just can't process that. I can't process you waking up. I'm trying to think about you waking up. I'm like, did you wake up this morning or did you go to sleep at like when I woke up? You know?
There's a giant hole above my bed frame. Every morning I wake up and punch it. Pissed off, angry. Why the fuck are people emailing me this early in the morning?
Damn. Okay. I think I'm just gonna jump right into the questions here, man. Should we skip the current? I mean, we've took up about 5 minutes of just laughing. We could jump right into like, you know what? Did you hear about the? Sorry, we were actually talking about your clients in 10 p.m. and stuff like that, and how it's on a shift work almost, you know, which is like totally cool. But I'm totally gonna cut all that out. And I'm gonna start right.
Can you cut out my cough?
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm just joking.
Person hit by train. So at the Grandin LRT.
Actually.
Yeah, yesterday I think.
Oh no.
Yesterday, he was hit by a train at the Grandin station, and he was actually like unconscious, and he was pinned under it. I think he died, maybe, but I'm not. I didn't get that much research. I fucking don't have time, bro. What do you want me to do?
You're on the
I was like going. I had to go to the gym. Then I had to come out, and I had to go to work. Then I had to come here, and then I had to clean up, and then I had to. There's a lot to do.
What we know is the guy was hit by the
That's all we know.
under.
That might be 2 different articles I read, because some guy did get pinned by a car. And the train. This is all wrong. I know the guy got hit by a train at the Grandin LRT station.
If he's pinned under, he for sure died. That shit
By a train?
That shit does not stop. You know, it's like the saying, yeah, I feel like I got hit by a train. That shit does not stop.
I never thought about that. I don't think I've ever thought about that.
But it would make sense. By pinned under, maybe he was laying on the tracks, the train went over him.
I think he died, bro. There's no way you're gonna survive that.
You can't just sprinkle our conversation with it and he died. It's not the... You're just going in for the kill, eh?
But you're telling me that you can get pinned under a train and not die? It's a train. If it runs over my fingers, I'm dead.
Yeah, but think about it, because what if he's narrow enough to avoid hitting the bottom of the train while laying like there? Yeah, what if he's pinned down like that?
I see what you're saying.
Then he's not that exciting. Then he doesn't even make the news, right? So for sure, that's not.
For sure, he died.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
that's tragic.
That'd be a stunt move or something if he did that.
Yeah, he'd be a celebrity.
So there's like this big there's this big thing going around like Twitter and stuff, and
I thought you were gonna say coronavirus.
No.
This is a big thing going
on. Did you hear about it? It's coronavirus.
What's that?
No, this guy found a shrimp tail. Did you hear about that?
No.
He found like 2 shrimp tails in his cereal, in his Captain Crunch. Wait, what was it? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's what he always eats. Remember Topanga from Boy Meets World?
Yeah.
It was her boyfriend. And he's like a...
It's the same guy that was on the show, wasn't it? Didn't she end up marrying that guy?
No. This is a different guy, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he married. I seen him and I'm like, who the hell's that? Anyways, yeah, man, he like emptied it and he took a picture of it and put it on Twitter.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. You know
so?
Why?
But it had like cinnamon around it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But what are the chances that happens in a factory? Someone just shows up with shrimp tails, like used shrimp tails, like they ate their shrimp. That's not something you eat in the mornings, by the way, but they eat let's say they ate it with their dinner. They're eating shrimp with their dinner, and they show up and they put it, and out of all people, it goes to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he said like, I'm a big fan of this. I get this every single this is all I eat.
Oh really?
So
maybe I don't know. Could be just clout.
It was weird, bro.
Clout, could be.
But yeah, how did that was on the news.
That made the news, eh? They were running out of things to talk about.
Even though there's 8 mass shootings in America this past week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
8 different
ones.
In 1 week.
I only heard about the one in Colorado.
No, bro. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in Houston. There's one in Texas. There's one in Houston, Texas. There's one in Texas, Houston. There's one. Just keep repeating the same place. No, but for real, there was. I don't know all of them.
Honestly, yeah, no, that's crazy. But that's 8
it's
different
messed up, bro. Yeah, man. So why don't you go ahead and finally tell the people what you do? Can you get closer to the mic? You're like 25 meters away.
So what I do for a living is I avoid microphones at all costs.
And cameras that run away?
No, I work in real estate. I'm a realtor. It's something I've been doing for a bit now.
How long have you been doing it?
For about so my transition into real estate was a bit different than most people's. A good buddy of mine was doing it for years actually. So I have a degree. Let me rewind. Back up the story here. I graduated from grade school. I graduated from McEwen University with a Bachelor of Commerce. I did a trip. I went out of the country for about 7 months before COVID. Don't worry. Came back, worked with cars. I worked as an auto wholesaler for a couple of years there. And while I was doing that, I was talking to my one friend that was doing real estate, and he had nothing but good things to say about it. And he was always just telling me, hey, it's a really good industry. You do good at it. And eventually I tried it out. He set me up better than most people would, right? So I had a really nice entry into the industry. What I did was I enrolled in the program, and I would help out with him doing his realtor work. I was working with him as well. And from there, he said, if you continue to like it, why don't you try out sitting in a show home? Did that for about a year, and about last summer, I finally got my license and got started. So I've been working as a realtor for about a year now.
That's awesome. Did it get boring in the show home? Like you gotta really like it in order to stay in that show home, you know?
The show home, to be honest, yes, it gets boring.
Because I think that's like a big step. If you could pass that, then I think you have the patience to deal with people, because that takes a lot of patience to sit there by yourself.
No, that's exactly it. I was there for 3 days a week, 5 hours a day, which wasn't a lot, but at the same time I was working with the company that I was working with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing something else, and then those hours coupled on top of that, it was some days were really long. Mondays and Wednesdays I was there I started work around 10, and I was out and about till about 8:30. I was getting home 8:30 at the earliest. Those days were
Just move it. You don't have
move
to
it back or
like towards you. Yeah, it's gotta be like a fist away.
measure
Like,
that.
cut that right out.
Yeah, days were long for sure. Some days, but it was really really exciting at the same time. You learn a lot. It's a really unique experience working in a show home, especially where I was working. I was working with a completely custom home builder. You really get a different view of homes. You learn a lot. You learn on the go. There's unique scenarios that you can't really train for because it's very situational. One thing might happen with one house that you'll only learn it if you are a part of the experience, right?
Yes.
So you pick up a lot of things, and with that, I think it benefits my career as a realtor exponentially, just because of the nature of the knowledge you're taking in every single day.
So basically, you like kind of grew in a system, and you picked up all the knowledge that you were given, basically, and then
Yeah.
you to become a realtor. Like you started off as a student, is what I'm saying, and then now are you a realtor, like a licensed realtor right now?
Yeah, I've been a licensed realtor for about a year now, since
That's
last
awesome.
summer.
Is it a good time to buy right now, would you say?
I would say it's a good time to buy if you're looking to buy, right? The best time to buy, if you're in the market, they say, is yesterday. If you're genuinely concerned with buying, right?
So
right
you
now,
should be you should be pretty disappointed in yourself, because if you didn't buy it yesterday and the realtor is telling you the best time to buy it yesterday,
yeah.
you should be like, fuck.
What I mean by that is buying a house is such a big decision. A lot of people overthink it, and they might plan for it in bulk. What I mean by that is they might plan for it years ahead. You might be, let's say, make it very personable. Let's say you're 24 years old thinking of getting into a property, but you keep putting it off. Oh, I'm waiting till my finances are right. I'm waiting till I have enough down payment. Let me ask every other person their opinion about what I should do. If you keep prolonging it, you could 3-4 years down the road, you're waiting for the perfect time. That perfect time might happen when you're 28. But let's say you didn't overthink. Let's say you got a bad deal. You decided to buy a house at 24, but you got a bad deal. You overpaid 20 grand. Within the next 4 years, you'll have built up that 20K in equity.
Yes.
If not more. Like more, obviously you'll have built up more than that 20K in equity. That's why I think with real estate, it's, if I'm not saying put yourself in a situation where you completely you don't have the means to buy a house, but you're forcing it. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, if you're in the market, if you have the means to, I think it's always a good time to be buying. Right now, in specific, interest rates are really low.
Yeah.
Which is huge for a lot of people. People are looking at that and they're paying a bit more to get into a house, right? Because if you're saving 1.5% on a $300,000 mortgage, roughly, and my math is probably off here, but $4,500 a year if you fix that rate for about 5 years, what is that? $22,500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
So $22,500 you're saving just off of the interest rates. Couple that with getting a good deal on a house, then you're in the money.
We actually, I think we just signed a 5-year.
Recently?
Yeah, very recently.
Do you mind if I ask you your interest rate?
I actually don't even know it. I would tell you. I don't mind. I don't care.
What's
but
your
I actually
SIN
don't know
number?
it. What's the average? Like, you deal with clients, right? And how, like, it's a house. So, like, a car, you're really picky until you buy a car. So imagine a salesman, you know what they go through. I couldn't imagine what a real estate goes through.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, if there's a room that's even, like, you know, a couple square foot smaller than what they expected, I don't think they would buy the house. And you would have to try to, like, sit there and convince them that that's okay, you know, to have that small of a room. And is it difficult?
So that's actually a misconception. And again, a lot of what I've learned from real estate, I've learned from John. With that being said, what he always says is we don't work in sales. And I'm sure there's a lot of realtors out there that'll argue the opposite. But he always says we don't work in sales, we work in relationship building, right? Which is, you're technically an agent of a person. So if I'm helping you purchase a house, I'm looking out for your best interest. Legally, I have a responsibility to look after your best interest. With that being said, if I'm selling you a house that's not the square footage that you want, that could be a bad decision for you, that you're overpaying for, whatever it is, I didn't necessarily do the best job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I give you fair warning, hey, look, this is what you're getting into, and you still want the house for whatever particular reason. Maybe you grew up on that street or whatever it is, then that's completely on you, but it's your realtor's job to look out for you. So instead of convincing you that, hey, look, this room isn't the right square footage, you're telling them, look, this room isn't the right square footage, this might not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on and look for the next one.
And would you say all realtors are like that? I think it's just
No.
you guys' team. You guys are like, you guys care more about the people than you guys do about sales. The fact that you said we're not salesmen, we're what was the word you said?
We work in relationship.
Relations. Yeah. So I think a lot of realtors, they don't have that approach towards this. It's like, sell the house, make the money, and move on. You know, get them out of the way.
For sure, a lot of
But
us
that's
on
in every
the team
job, right?
that's no sales, no business. Everywhere that you work for, it's a business. Everything that you do is business, right?
Yes.
You when you go to work, you're working for a business. More likely than not, the nature of all of our jobs are business related. No sales, no business. So yes, there's sales involved in every aspect of every job. But I think our team is a bit unique with the move team there.
Mm-hmm.
We are a bit unique in our approach, and a lot of that has to do with our team lead, again, John, the way that he coaches us. And with, honestly, a lot of what I preach is probably based off of what he's built into me, right?
Yes.
So I had exposure to what he taught me, and I'm going to relay that information. Some of it is obviously my take on it. However, with that being said, working in relationship building is a lot different than working in sales, and I'm sure a lot of realtors do look at it the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, look, let me just get paid. Let me move on from this. With us, we're a younger team too. I think that helps with it. With younger people, we're a bit like, I'll show you 40 houses.
Exactly.
Especially if you're my friend and we know each other. We're just hanging out anyways. I'll show you 40 houses and I don't mind. Nothing's really tying me down not to, and
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely will.
That's awesome.
A lot of older realtors. A lot of realtors are old too, and they don't want to get out and about as much, right? They want to.
And they're like cranky.
They're cranky, yeah.
Yo, I've been doing this for 27 years.
Yeah, I actually get
how
that.
aren't you gonna be?
I get that a lot.
You know.
Like I get that. Oh yeah, when I'm negotiating with realtors, I think they do it as an intimidation thing. Oh yeah, I've
You
been
think
doing
so?
it for like 20 something years. How long have you been doing this? And you can look up any realtor online and figure out how long they've been doing it. And I do it. I mean, if I'm negotiating with someone, I want to know the most I can about them.
Yeah.
So I'll research the person. Hey, let me Google his name, figure out who he works for, kind of grasp how many listings he has, grasp whatever I can from him, and that might even affect my negotiation, right?
Yes.
So a lot of them think if they've been in it for longer, that'll intimidate you, and maybe
That's very true.
you'll give in to what they're looking for.
I think it's the same with selling cars. It's the same with any other job that have like when people have years of experience over the younger guys, they feel like they have more authority and, hey man, like I'm gonna get this sale, like I know what I'm doing, you're just new.
And that's exactly it.
And I don't think that's true at all.
Well, that's a conventional way of thinking. That's definitely like more traditional.
Yes.
It's even more archaic
traditional.
than what times are now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think with our generation moving forward, we're taught to be unbiased in what we're looking for. In terms of if I'm hiring you as a barber, I want to hire the best barber. I don't care if he's only been in the game for 6 months or if he's been in the game for 43 months.
Yes.
43 years, 43 whatever it is, right? With that, you probably experienced that as well. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, there's probably you've probably taken a business from a lot of barbers that have been doing it for a lot longer, but because you're better at it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. And with this whole COVID thing, you said the interest rates are really low. So would you say? Because I was gonna ask, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? Has it been playing like a role in your guys'
Huge role.
Yeah.
The interest rates.
For good or bad? No,
Better.
not interest rates. COVID.
Oh, COVID. COVID was very unique.
It was definitely different.
COVID
I'm
shut
sure
down the market for when it first hit. People were too afraid to leave their houses, and as soon as people understood COVID a little bit more, the weather started warming up and people were eager to get out. What we found ourselves was in a very unique situation. It was an unprecedented situation as well. We didn't know how to respond to it. A lot of people, there were CERB checks going around. People had time off work. There was the people that didn't shop because of COVID for the first couple months. They waited till the next couple months, but it all spiraled forward into this sporadic. Let's buy and that's what like gave the market life. So
Yes.
they all came out around summertime, and that July, I believe July of last year was the busiest July in 40 years, and that's because of the COVID. People during the beginning of COVID didn't shop. They got mixed in with the people that were shopping in the summertime, and there's a lot of people shopping, and then interest rates started going down, and everyone was shopping heavily. Right now as well. Right now it's myself with the spring market. It's crazy. There's multiple offers on houses. It's a really good time to sell right now. If you've been considering selling in the last few years here, but you haven't necessarily committed to it, I would say this would be the time to commit to selling.
Y'all heard that? Y'all trying to sell your house? Right now is a pretty good time to look into that. Has there been a certain house that you've looked at and kind of like blew you away? And if so,
I have wow.
And is there like what was the thing that stuck out in the house? Because like I'm sure it wasn't like the entire house. Like maybe there was one or two things. Even if it was the whole house, why don't you go ahead and tell me?
All right, so that's honestly.
That was so ugly, bro. Why don't you go ahead and tell me? Sorry, go on. Just wanted to say that. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. No. You're good, man. You're good. You're beautiful. You got really quiet after that one. Well, this is awkward.
I start blushing. I turn it off. Go outside. Smoke.
I don't even smoke. Go take a cold shower real quick.
Sorry. Yeah. Do you remember the question?
Yeah. No, I do. There was a house. It was actually in Sherwood Park. Very, very nice house. What caught my eye was the price. It was underpriced for the neighborhood it was in. It was actually a foreclosure, which, believe it or not, people are always thinking foreclosures are the best way. Hey, look, they're crazy. Let's go. You're buying it directly from a bank. You're getting a better deal, but that's not always the case. It's usually not. Foreclosures are actually really risky. The people selling the house, well, the people that used to own the house, they don't want to sell the house, so they'll go ahead and strip all the appliances. They'll sell whatever they can to kind of get any of their money back that they're losing, right? Because they might have had some equity built up into this house. They're not happy about it. Regardless, this house was a foreclosure. It was in the winter time.
It was.
Yeah. It was a good deal. The house, what I figured it needed was about 30 to 40,000, and like I said, the house was underpriced for the neighborhood. But the wow factors of that house was it had 2 living rooms, 2 dining rooms, a really, really nice and big kitchen, 2 bedrooms upstairs. There was a laundry room on the main floor and a 3rd bedroom on the main floor as well, which it was a 4-level split. But the house, the layout was super nice. The biggest wow factor of that house was, the biggest wow factor of that house was they had a swimming pool. Not just a small dinky little pool, but just this big swimming pool that was added to the house after the fact. You could tell from the backyard, really big backyard. But there was a corridor that led into the swimming pool, and just a giant pool, and there was a sauna attached to the swimming pool. It blew me away.
Wow. And that was outside?
I wasn't even in the market for a house, but that house I considered. I contacted my mortgage broker, but
let's jump into, if you could choose a different profession, what would it be? And like, has it ever crossed your mind to change your profession?
So, what are we talking about here? You could be anything you want, because I'm going to go with a professional athlete.
You know what? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I like to be in the NFL.
NFL?
Yeah, why not?
I thought you were going to say rugby player.
Well, rugby players don't make enough money.
That's true.
They want to make that money.
Do they actually not make, like, it's a rough-ass sport.
It is. They get beat up and they don't make decent money when compared to other sports.
Is that your favorite sport, NFL, like, to watch?
To watch? Yeah.
Like, what's
football
your
for
favorite
sure. Yeah, no, I could talk to you for a minute about the NFL for sure.
I actually don't know nothing about the NFL.
I'll tell you all about it in 10 seconds.
A touchdown, go.
Tom Brady.
How many points
ever,
is
gold? Turn into that one fucking guy.
How many rings does he have now?
7.
7 rings. He's done now.
Well, he has more than that. I mean,
he probably has
bought a
different
couple
rings. For sure.
Years.
But he's done. He's retired.
He definitely has some toe rings. No, he's not retired. He's still in it.
What?
Yeah.
How old is he? Like 45?
His fate is 8, because he's great. Look,
so you're waiting for an 8th ring?
No, he's gonna get at least 8.
What?
Well, man, the guy says he's gonna play till he sucks. Last season he was doing remarkable. People don't fall off a cliff, although that one guy's been saying he's gonna fall off a cliff for years. But no, he's unreal. Like, he's not gonna fall off a cliff.
He is. He's actually crazy.
He's not just a generational talent, but he's one of those guys that's gonna go down in history as one of the best ever. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
He's
that type of player. He's the real deal. Yeah, man. Before him there was Montana, now there's Brady.
All right. When you started working, what would you say kind of sparked the flame into jumping into real estate? Or like, what would you say, like, because you weren't doing real estate. Like, for what I know, you were doing that automotive thing.
Yeah. That
you said. Then randomly, you started doing the exams and stuff for real estate. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
And then that's why I said I thought you were still doing that. I didn't know you were licensed.
No, for sure. I don't necessarily talk about what I'm doing as much. I just kind of do it. I think that's what it was too with real estate. But
what I like about you is extremely passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Like, very.
100%.
That's good. That's with everything you do.
I want to believe in what I'm doing. That's a big thing for me. I really want to believe in what I'm doing, and I want that fulfillment, and I want to be the best at what I do. And with real estate, it wasn't an overnight decision. It wasn't like, oh, let me try this out. Let me just get into it and see what happens. I really,
genuinely liked it.
I genuinely liked it. It's something that I could find myself doing. It's something that I really enjoy doing even now, right? I like helping people, and I like buying a house is one of the biggest decisions in most people's lives, right? For the greater majority of us, if you're buying a house, that might be your biggest investment ever.
For sure, it is.
And if someone trusts you to do that, you really want to deliver. That's where it comes into you work in relationship building and not sales. You're not just out there trying to, hey, look, let me get paid, let me get this paycheck. That's part of it. I mean, if I wasn't getting paid, I wouldn't do it, right? But the reality is I want to feel good about what I'm doing, and this is definitely something that I could see myself doing in the long run. It's very fulfilling.
So what would you say sparked it?
Helping someone? John Rhoda. He sparked it for sure. 100%. He was, he told me all about it, talked to me about it multiple times, brought me around it, would just spark conversations about it, and he definitely was the spark.
Cool, man. And John has a few different things he does, right?
He's
not just doing Move Team.
Yeah, no, John's crazy.
He's like always on the go.
He's go 24/7.
I think he has his dad's mindset, no?
If we call him right now, yeah, his dad's a go-getter just like him. If you call John right now, he's working on something. That's how he relaxes. For normal humans, you relax by, maybe hanging out, watching a movie, not thinking, not doing anything. John, when he relaxes, he's working.
That's crazy,
man. He's always just working all the time.
What a mindset to have, hey?
Yeah.
Just go.
He's got that work ethic.
His fiance, right?
Yeah.
She's probably like, what is wrong with this guy? But I think she's known him for so long, right? Yeah. Okay, I wanted to ask, and I think I have one more question after this. Mm-hmm. Then we'll wrap it up. Wrap it up, buddy. What's one of the awkwardest encounters you've had?
There was a time where I was meeting a guy at an acreage. This is a funny story. Not really funny for me, especially not at the time. Still looking back at it, this isn't one of those things I'll laugh about. I just did. But it was more out of frustration. Anyways, I was meeting this guy at an acreage, and around the acreage there was literally no service. I'm not talking about, if you hold your phone up higher, you'll get service. No, none of that. You drive around 5 minutes, still no service. Wow. I went there to meet this guy, and I told him, hey, look, I'll meet you there at this time. And I noticed my service was going in and out. And I texted him, I'm like, hey, look, the service is being spotty. I'll just meet you there at this time. He's like, great, I'll be there at that time. He showed up so late, like 45 minutes. But I was so far out that I'm like, do I go back? I'm like, no, I'll just wait. I just kept waiting.
It's already been 30 minutes.
I tried to drive to another spot to get service. Eventually, this guy shows up like 45 minutes later with McDonald's. He offered me some fries. This was before, this was a while back, but he offered me some fries. I'm looking at this guy like, even if I wanted those fries, I'm not eating your fries right now. This guy went and got himself McDonald's while I'm out here. I could be in the movie right now getting chopped up by machetes. People will be talking about, oh yeah, Ismail was chopped up by machetes.
We're not sure what the motive was or what he was doing there, but he was there.
Sources say he was a realtor. But is that really the case?
Okay, last question and we'll end it. What would you say to someone trying to buy a house right now? Like, what would something like very small and like simple that you would say to someone, a younger guy, actually?
Get into it as soon as you can. Real estate is one of those things where if you're building equity throughout the years versus paying rent, you're setting yourself up in the future. Not only are you setting yourself up, but you're setting up your future generations. And it's important to start early. If you're thinking, I want the best deal ever, I'm going to wait for the right time. There is no right time. We were kind of talking about that a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. You pay more, you sell your house for more, you're paying more when you buy anyway. So there really isn't nice time or the right time. But if you feel like you're financially secure enough to get into it, 100% get into it as soon as possible. Build that equity throughout the years. By the time you're 45, you'll be thanking yourself for years to come. Imagine having two houses paid off by the time you're 45. You're renting one out and you own another, and let's say they're paid off. You just had to sell one, and at the time, let's say in 20 years from now, a house that's worth 400K, let's say it just doubles in price.
Yes.
You have 800K right there. You could just live off that. I'm not saying
because
that's the best decision to make, but you could literally, for a rainy day, sell one of the houses or something for something that you could easily, like your mortgage rate is usually lower than your rent.
That's very true. That's so sick, bro. And if people just took a minute and thought about that, I think they would really think themselves, like you said, in the long run.
I think it's a big, scary decision.
It's a very scary decision. Even when I jumped into it, it was like, oh, now I have bills. You know, I never had bills like that.
But can I ask you something now?
What's up?
did it make you more responsible? Do you think you benefited from it, or do you think it
You know what, bro? It made me so responsible. Like, yeah, having a house is a very like a big responsibility, and like there's like all that other stuff up there.
Mm-hmm.
But to the point where I have to throw out garbage every Friday, that's how responsible. Like, it's like I have to know every Friday. Yeah. Never mind the bills. Never mind this. Never mind that. Never mind like I have to do this, that.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have to get the garbage ready every Friday, put it by the door. I never used to do any of that. So it's like a very different thing. But I feel like an adult. It makes you feel like you're very more mature and like you should be doing stuff with your life rather than play game. That's all it is, yeah?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you could even play game, and the thing is, if you work hard enough, you can also play hard too, right?
Absolutely,
if your passion
bro.
is
Work
playing
hard,
game,
play hard.
if your passion is playing games, whatever it is, sports, cutting hair, whatever it is, right? As long as you do what you're supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and you do all the right things, you should be able to enjoy your life as well. Buying a house, I think, is one of those things that really sets you apart with a lot of people, right?
Yes, sir. I agree. All right, folks, that's a wrap. Where can they follow you? Like, check you out?
Follow me on Instagram at _. That's MOEISMAEL _. Phone number is yeah.
But is there like your guys' website?
moveteam.com
Yeah.
or
That's
.ca.
where they can
We
reach
own
you.
both.
If they want to look into houses, I'm
If you
saying,
want to
yeah.
look into houses, we have one of the best websites out there and a very good resource. We just got our results on the year for the month that just passed. We were number 1 in our market for Remax all of Western Canada.
Wow.
And number 1 year
man.
to date as well out of
That's
all teams
awesome.
in our market,
Sheesh.
which is a huge accomplishment.
Of course, bro. There's so many teams that do real estate. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem, yeah.
We're
And when you're number 1, that's really something to be be proud of.
We've automated the system. We've simplified it. We've made it very personable and relatable, and we're sincere. We genuinely look after our clients, and I think that's what sets us
I think
apart
that's exactly what it
from
is, bro.
everyone else out there.
That's cool, bro. That was actually one of my questions, but I didn't get to it because we're at 45 minutes.
Until next time on Barber's Corner.
Barber's Corner. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We out.